Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your weekly reading for May 13 to May 19, 2019. This reading is for all Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter sign. Aquarius, I've already shuffled the cards, laid out your spread. We're using the Celtic cross. So let's get into your reading, Aquarius. Now, Aquarius, at the bottom of the deck, the energy that should be your focus is the Chariot. Powerful energy, very nice. Loving this for you, loving this for you. With this energy of the Chariot here, needing to be your focus, being your focus, this is about you having forward movement. This is about you taking control. This is about you being in control. This is about you steering your situation. This is also about you going with the flow. This is about you using your will and your intellect and your determination to have movement on your goals, accomplish your goals by overcoming your obstacles. Now, there could be a need to focus on travel. If there is, you may need to make sure that everything's going okay with your vehicle or your travel arrangements. And make sure that if there's a need for you to make adjustments, repairs, what have you, that you do so as soon as you can or recognize that there is a need. But this is your focus. This is you having the victory. This is you having forward movement. Now, do be careful as you're having the focus on forward movement here to keep your emotions in balance. Keep yourself emotionally under control and make sure that you are not losing control over any particular situation, and be open to the possibility when there may be a need to be more flexible or a need to go with the flow in a situation in order to achieve the victory in a situation, and avoid obstacles. Now, underneath the Chariot, you do have the Six of Pentacles. So this is about give and take. This is about having success in balancing your resources to do possibly with money or in relationship with others or to do with work. But this is about you having forward movement and your ability to achieve balance and give and take. Nice. So, Aquarius, the way that you see yourself in your week ahead, wow, you have the Devil. Wow. Wow. Let's just clarify that a bit. Okay, you have the Two of Wands. So, with this energy of the Devil and the Two of Wands here, you may see yourself as feeling stuck with needing to make a decision, feeling like you're at a crossroads. You may feel like it's like you feel like you're stuck in a rock and a hard place. This may be you feeling like your decisions or the choice you make have a very strong impact on your circumstances or how things will unfold for you, Aquarius. Now, this also could be you focusing on trying to balance between your desires in a situation and being tempted by that, opposed to trying to do what's right. And so this may be you standing in your personal power. I feel you may be trying to, or you are standing in your personal power, where you are focusing on not allowing yourself to be stuck, even if you are at a crossroads. Now, if you do feel stuck in this energy where there's some sort of toxicity around a relationship, around a decision, or you feel that, you know, whatever decision you make could lead to you becoming stuck or destroy something you're building or make matters worse, you want to focus on releasing yourself from being stuck. You want to focus on operating in your personal power. You want to focus on um, coming up with a decision that doesn't sabotage you, but instead empowers you, but also allows for the situation to move forward and removes any toxicity, any restrictions, any resistance that you may be concerned about or even experiencing. And so, with this energy of the devil, ways to avoid that is to remember to not allow yourself to be tempted, to not allow yourself to um, be greedy, um, to use common sense, to be practical in the situation, and you want to operate from your higher self and not from a lower vibration in your ability to come up with a decision and plan to move forward and to that allows you to still have some form of your desires met without you feeling um, stuck or chained or bound, or without you causing this to others, or without your plans being impeded. I hope that makes sense. Because remember, you want to have forward movement, and this may be a situation where you may need to actually be more flexible or go with the flow in order to see your plans realized or keep your plans intact and avoid any restrictions. So you do want to stand in your personal power opposed to you acting from your shadow. But this feels more like you standing in your personal power. I gotta admit, Aquarius, some of you, I feel like you're going to be operating in your shadow. I do feel like some of you are looking to operate in your shadow, and that you may be focusing on how to do shit by force, where you may be out of control and out of balance in your tactics and methods in doing so. I'm just saying you might want to revisit that and change that shit up and rein that in. That may not serve you. Well, no, that won't serve you. Let's say that. Okay. For those of you that's your mindset, just saying, message. So what's on your mind, Aquarius, is judgment. Wow, you got some real heavy hitters here. With judgment here, what's on your mind is you making some pretty serious decisions, some really serious decisions here. Um, this, I feel like this is decisions that require you to be able to see things from a different point of view, having new perception, new perspective. Um, this is where I feel you. This is where you can't refuse making a decision. Um, this is about you making decisions that liberate you in the situation. This is a decision that where you have to rise to the call in the situation. Okay. This is you making a judgment call. This is literally you making a judgment call, but it's a big deal. Okay, it's a big deal because this here is something that requires you needing to make a decision that either can allow you to have forward movement or it becomes an obstacle or creates an obstacle. This is either going to allow you to have you operating in your personal power, or this is going to be you acting in your shadow, where you find yourself um, trying to operate from a place of the use of destructive patterns that only will cause, you know, um, adverse circumstances and situations, and you being your own saboteur. Okay? But this is you making a judgment call, making a decision that hopefully will liberate you, a decision that requires you to reflect, truly reflect on the situation, to consider it, to take possibly it under advisement, to be fair in your assessment of the situation as you come to the decision. Um, you may need to be mindful about whether or not you're being too judgy in a situation that you are focused on that requires your judgment. You may be the person where it is you that make or break the situation. So let's look at what the doggone situation is, huh, Aquarius? You have the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords is communication. This is news. Pages usually bring about messages. So, and this could talk about a child. So you could be making a decision about your child, or something to do with a child, or something to do with your child. Or this is you needing to communicate or dealing with a situation that is not easy to face and deal with, because there's a lot of truth involved, but it stings. It stings. This may be you in a situation where there are some new considerations involved here that you have to look at. And you may be looking at how to cut away any issues, um, or be on guard to keep issues from coming up with that Page of Swords. So let's look at that Page of Swords a little more closely. Ooh, yeah. So with this Page of Swords, this is you trying to consider or come up with a new pattern of thinking, a new consideration. You pondering a situation that is important, that is not easy to deal with, that has you on guard, that is difficult, but there's truth around the situation for you that could have to do with the child. It's a situation that you do want to handle delicately. You do want to be careful in the communication, or there is a focus to try to have careful attention to the situation, because there's an air of wanting to protect something, that you want to cut away any potential disaster or avoid a disaster, or that you want to try to bring some significant change to, that allows you to have that forward movement, that keeps you from being stuck, but it still allows you to stand in your own personal power, that allows you to still have your plan realized and allow you to move forward on it at a place where you feel you may be at some sort of an impasse, and you want to communicate effectively where something isn't destroyed but changed, I feel. Or it just feels like you want to definitely avoid a shakeup. You want to protect yourself against the shakeup here. A disaster. You want to liberate yourself from a disaster. You want to have forward movement. You don't want obstacles. Now, in the recent past, you have the Seven of Swords. So with the Seven of Swords, this here is air energy. Now the Seven of Swords is there could have been you dealing with possible deception, possible lies, whether this is coming from you or coming from someone else or within a situation. With the Seven of Swords, though, let's clarify. You have the Two of Pentacles. So this is more about you trying to strategize in the recent past, to come up with a strategy or a plan in order to create balance, to juggle something, to have something balance out and not get out of control or end up out of balance in the recent past. So this was you trying to escape something getting out of control, ending up out of balance. This is you strategizing in the recent past, coming up with a plan of action to juggle and figure out how to maintain balance in a situation, perhaps through a decision or through an action. This could have something to do with money or a decision or something that needed to change. This is you trying to come up with a plan of action to avoid any uncomfortable changes or any imbalance in the recent past. So where you're at right now, Aquarius, is the Three of Swords. And with this Three of Swords, this here is a breakdown in communication. This is some measure of disappointment. This is feeling sorrow. This is around a three-party situation, experiencing some measure of suffering. Or, this may be you, dealing with others where you're not seeing eye to eye in your communication. There may be the lack of being heard or understood from the position that you're standing from, and others feeling that way too for themselves. With this Three of Swords, you have the Queen of Cups. Emotions are high. There's sensitivity here, okay? But I feel that this is you trying to navigate the situation intuitively, perhaps. This is you perhaps trying to focus on how to heal a situation where there has been some measure of disappointment, some measure of pain, perhaps distrust, a measure of disloyalty, but there's been some friction between yourself and others, where it has pricked the emotions for you and the emotions of others that you are in relationship or dealing with. Now this is either something that's still fresh, or this is something that you are in the process of healing, or this is something that is being worked out or is working out. But it's still a very sensitive area with this Three of Swords energy. Now this can be a three-party situation, and you're feeling very upset. There could be codependency here on your part, or you could be dealing with a measure of codependency with someone else here, Aquarius. But I do feel here with these energies that you may feel stuck, or you may be trying to avoid a separation, or you may be trying to avoid any pain or suffering here any more than may have occurred, because your challenge is you have the Nine of Swords. And with this Nine of Swords, there's worry and fears here. But this is what's in your mind. So this is whether real or perceived, you have worries and concerns, possibly around a separation, possibly around a misunderstanding, possibly around a three-party situation, or a lack of an agreement, or a lack of understanding, or something being shaken up or drastically changed, that you may be able to, that you may feel obstacles and feeling stuck or restricted in. where you are impeded in your plans. So you may feel upset and worried about this. And your concern is, how do you resolve these worries and fears? How do you heal this? How do you keep this from happening, or how do you repair it? Now, in your future, you do have the Two of Swords. So this is about you coming to a decision, or needing to come to a decision, with the focus of coming to a decision that gives you peace, and to avoid stagnation, especially if it involves a decision between yourself and another. But this is you trying to come to a decision. And with that Two of Swords, you do have the Knight of Pentacles. So this is about you this is you coming to a decision to bring something to an end. A decision where you are being of assistance or being assisted, so that there can be peace, so that there can be a conclusion. So I do feel a decision is made that brings something to an end, that makes something be done for you, be completed for you, and it is of a help to you in some way. This again may be connected to money or finances. This can have something to do with work or relationships. This can have something to do with a child. This can have something to do with the need to be more flexible, or the need to get something under control, or to keep something maintained, or to come up with a plan, or to avoid your plans being impeded, or to liberate yourself, or to have a judgment call on something, or something that you may be depending upon and you don't want to be separated from, and may want to try to see how to fix or heal it. Now, for others of you, this may be you looking to release yourself from a situation that you are suffering in, that is causing you worries and fears that you want to be liberated from, and you may be trying to cut away the situation to avoid any disaster or further disaster or shakeups or uncomfortable shakeups. And you want to take control of the situation and have forward movement so that you can achieve balance. And in the future, you may be focused on trying to come up with a decision that actually allows you to have a real plan in doing so. And so how you see yourself is the Knight of Swords. How others see you is the Knight of Swords. You're being seen as the Knight of Swords. So this is you being seen as someone who's taking action, where you are communicating. And I feel that this is communication where you are being positive and assertive, and with the persistence to cut away what no longer serves you, to be effective in your communication to achieve the desired result. Because with that Knight of Swords, you do have the Four of Wands, and that is so that you can keep things aligned, or to have things line up, or to establish harmony, or to have success with and have a completion with the things that matter to you concerning home and family, and maintain that success, or keep that success intact, or keep whatever you have had lined up aligned. And you being seen as someone taking action to establish and keep the harmony and peace around a situation, or for yourself or for others. Now, how you are within, what's going on within you, is the Fool. And with the Fool energy here, this is also you showing up in your own element with the Fool. This is a major arcana. So this is you focused on new beginnings. You focused on being optimistic. You focused on not being naive or rebellious or oblivious to the situation. This is you focused on taking responsibility. This is you focused on your instinct. Um, this is you focused on taking things in a new direction, okay? Um, and achieving it, Aquarius. Very nice. Breaking free from the obstacles, breaking free from any perceived or real chains, and having that forward movement with the Chariot, having that victory, being liberated, having sound judgment. Now, your outcome that is also your advice, awesome. You have the Three of Cups. So this is you. You could be experiencing a celebration, a party, but with all of this energy, intense energy, I feel like this is you achieving what you want in a situation involving others, where you go from something involving others where there was discord, disagreements, upset, possible separation, um, miscommunication, problems in communication, not seeing eye to eye between yourself and others, to actually coming to a place of agreement, to an understanding where everyone is on the same page. There is success where everyone is achieving some measure of happy and you attain what you want here. There is an achievement. Now there's a cooperation. There's a collaborative here. And this is because you found a way to heal the situation. This is you focusing on your intuition. This is you getting control of your feelings and emotions. This is you being able to control your thoughts. And this is you being able to figure out how to repair what is seemingly breaking or broken between yourself and others, and coming up with a way to bring it back together, to heal it so that it's cohesive and working again. And there's a cooperation, there's a support system back in place, and you achieve that as your outcome. Okay, this is wonderful, Aquarius. Look at you. Look at you. I love it. You attain. This is some small achievement, yet a big one, where you go from the Three of Swords to the Three of Cups, from sorrow to joy. Delicious. I hope these messages help. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching. Bye.